Hey, in today's bass lesson, I'm going to take you through 4 bass riffs designed especially to build the skills of the intermediate bass guitar player. I'll see you inside the lesson. Hey, it's James here from eBassGuitar, and for quite a while I've had a bunch of intermediate bass players ask me to produce lessons to help them take their skills from that intermediate level to more advanced stages. So for me, there's one set of skills which is really important to do that, and that is mastering articulation, because this is what starts putting the subtlety into your bass guitar playing. So articulation covers hammer-ons, pull-offs and slides specifically with your fretting hand. So that's what we're going to cover over the next 4 riffs. But before we hit the lesson content, I'd love to ask you guys, what do you think makes an intermediate going on advanced bass player? Please do let me know in the comments below. So all the riffs we're going to be covering today are in the key of A, and they are 2 bars long. I wanted to let you know that it's a completely free PDF which comes with this lesson, where you can see everything we're discussing today in standard notation and tab. I'll put a link in the description below where you can download your free copy. So this is what bass riff number 1 sounds like. And this uses a technique called hammer-ons, and this is a really super cool effect. So let me show you what a hammer-on sounds like. And this is where the left hand essentially creates the second note, or the plucking hand. So we play the first note as normal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the 5th fret on the D string like this. And then I'm going to create the next note by placing down my 3rd finger like that at the 7th fret. So this is what it sounds like. And the crucial thing is I'm only plucking once with my plucking hand here. So how we're going to integrate this is what the riff sounds like. The first 6 notes of each riff are simply 2 A's, 2 E's, and then we go to a G and an E like that. And I just want you to play those regularly, plucking every single note. Then on the last 2 notes of each bar, I want you to hammer on. On the first bar, this is a G going to an A like so. So this is what the first bar sounds like. And you get that little subtle difference at the end with the hammer on beat 4 on those last 2 notes. Then moving on to the second bar, we're going to hammer on a C to a C sharp on the last 2 notes of each bar. So this is what the second bar sounds like. Like that. Also, it's a little trickier because we have a string jump in there, which is something when you hit the intermediate levels, you'll see quite a bit more. So let's hear what it sounds like when we put those 2 bars together. So let's try this with the backing track so you can hear what it sounds like in context.
3, 4.
So this is what bass line number 2 sounds like. So in riff number 1, we used what was called the classic box shape, which you've seen before, and we discovered the technique hammer-ons. In this riff, we're going to use what's called the major pentatonic forward position, and we're going to use slides as our articulation. So the major pentatonic forward position falls really nicely under the hand like this. And this is great for putting slides into our bass playing. So specifically, the slides we're going to look at in this lesson are from the 7th to the 9th fret. So let's just try one in isolation. So what we're going to do is we're going to play an E at the 7th fret on the A string like that. And then we're going to slide into the F sharp at the 9th fret like that. So just try. And the critical thing is we're only plucking it once with our plucking hand. So let's take the notes apart. Let's do the first bar. So what we do is this: 1, 2. So we play the first A for a beat and a half, 1, 2, and then halfway through the second beat we play an E, and then we slide into the F sharp, landing directly on the third beat. 1, 2, and 3, like that. Then the last two notes are simply an A, an F sharp, and an A, like that. So let's play this again. So that's the first bar down, and now the second bar starts on the second beat of the bar, and what we're going to do is we're going to slide into that F sharp again, and then go back to the E, play the F sharp again, and back to the E. So this is what beats 2 and 3 sound like. And then the last two notes of the bar are simply a C sharp and an E, but we're going to slide into the C sharp at the 9th fret on the E string, and then back to the E again. So this is what the notes from the second bar sound like. And do that once again. Let's put the whole of those two bars together. So just do it round and round slowly, and make sure you get all of the slides in there, because that's what really creates the subtlety. So let's hear what it sounds like with the backing track. So guys, before we hit riff number 3, I'd love to ask you, if you're enjoying this lesson, please make sure you subscribe to the eBassGuitar YouTube channel, because we release a lesson designed especially for the beginner to intermediate bass player who is also looking to go to a more advanced level every single week. There's a red button to subscribe somewhere around this video, and you'll be the first to know when it goes live. So this is what bass riff number 3 sounds like. So far in this lesson, we've covered using the box shape, and we've covered using the major pentatonic forward position, and we've covered using hammer-ons and slides. Now I want to show you a riff using what I call the backwards position. And this is coming off the 4th finger. So rather than rooting on your 1st finger, we're going to root on our 4th finger and use the notes going that way, because they're great selection under our hands. And also I'm going to combine using hammer-ons and slides. So let me take apart the first bar of this riff. It starts off with 2 8th notes, and then we go to 2 16th notes, and we're going to hammer on from a C to a C sharp like that, and we get this really bluesy sound, which sounds like this. And those are 2 16th notes. And then beat 3 of the bar is this, and that is 2 E's, going then back to a C sharp like that. So the first 3 beats sound like this. Just get that under your hand to begin with. And then the last beat of the bar is simply an E to an F sharp hammered on, where the F sharp is hammered. So let's play that whole of the first bar. And you can really hear how the hammers and the slides add that subtlety into the bass line, which really starts to take it to the next level. Now let's look at the second bar. So the first 2 beats are identical. Then what we do here is we hit a G up there on the D string like that, and we have this pattern. And what we do is we slide back on our 4th finger like that, which sounds really nice. So that's 2 G's to an F sharp. So the first 3 beats sound like this. And then we go to the E to the F sharp, and you can play the F sharp with either a 4th or a 3rd finger, whatever is comfortable. So this is what the 2 bars sound like. If you're interested in finding out more about how this stuff works, make sure you jump over to eBassGuitar.com and check out the Bass Lab Plus, and specifically check out the Rock, Pop and Motown bassline creation course, where we go more into depth about how to create basslines just like this. So let's hear what riff number 3 sounds like in context with the backing track. As with anything in music, if you find it's too fast, simply just slow it right down and take it apart beat by beat, and that will be the easiest way to work it back up to tempo and play it at full speed. Now let's look at riff number 4. This is what it sounds like. And this uses a technique called pull-offs, which we find in the second bar, which I'll show you in just a second. But first of all, let's look at the first bar. And this is a classic chromatic idea. So we're going to start on our second finger to play the root note A. And then we have 4 chromatic notes, which is simply a C sharp, a D, an E, and a C sharp, a D sharp, and an E like that. So this is the first few notes. And then the last note of the bar is an A up at the 7th fret on the D string. So this is what the first bar sounds like. So just play that round and round. Then to go into the second bar, what I want you to do is shift from playing the 1 finger per fret technique like that into the 4/3, because this is what I find vastly easier. And now the pull off is simply where we play the 4th finger like that at the 7th fret, the A, and then we strike downwards to play the G like that. And then what I'm going to do after that is hammer on the E to get the E on the D string, on the A string like that. So we get this phrase like this. And the critical thing to appreciate is I'm only plucking once with my right hand. So just play that round and round again. Then I want to take the same kind of pattern and play it using a D, a C sharp, and an A like that. So we're going to pull off the first note and hammer on the second. So we end up with this. And then the last 2 notes are G and then a G sharp, which will take us back to the round A. So the second bar sounds like this. It's a really, really effective technique. So this is what the whole of the second bar sounds like. And again. So let's hear what this sounds like with the backing track. Then I'll break out a little bit and have a bit of a jam on these ideas that we've covered in this lesson to finish off. Guys, that's the end of today's bass guitar lesson. If you've enjoyed this lesson, make sure you download the completely free PDF so you can see everything we've covered today written out in standard notation and tab. Also, if you're looking to really push your bass guitar playing forward, make sure you jump over to eBassGuitar.com and check out the Bass Lab Plus. The Bass Lab Plus is a full step-by-step program designed especially for the beginner to intermediate bass player and beyond. Specifically, there is a program called the Rock, Pop and Motown Bassline Creation course in there if you enjoyed the concepts that we covered in today's lesson. If you'd like to take it for a test drive completely free, make sure you click the link in the description below to grab your free 14-day trial. Cheers, I've been James from eBassGuitar.com and I'll catch you next week.